Hello and welcome back. I considered buying a metal bandsaw for quite a while, but I just couldn't make up my mind which type I want. In the end, after some careful considerations, I ended up with this from a Norwegian company called Biltema. These machines are about the same as all the other nameless brands like Scheppach and Goude or whatever else. There are quite a few. And basically they all look the same, but there were a few things which made me decide to buy this specific one and not the others. And after opening the box, I will show you what was my main decision point. Okay, this is what was in the box. Not a lot of parts. The base plate or whatever it's called, where the saw must be installed, and then of course the actual saw, a saw blade, and the user manual with a few screws. So it actually one of the reasons why I decided for this machine is the vise, the actual vise. And why that is, I will explain it. It's because the jaws can be removed, and it is also not just made out of thin metal, but it feels like steel, cast iron or something like that. So it is quite heavy and sturdy machine. Also, another thing which the cheaper or the other type, I'm not saying this is an expensive type, this is about the same price as Scheppach, similar Scheppach, but there is also a better indicator for the degrees when you are turning the machine. There is one screw which needs to be installed. I don't know why they didn't do it in the factory, but I guess it was because of packing, easier packing without completely installing it, because this arm was actually completely folded down when I picked it out of the box. So there is a screw which needs to be attached here. And then of course the actual machine. So I will do all the installation offline. It is pretty easy, not really rocket science. So you just open the box, open the manual, and it's also without the manual is also quite easy. This is the screw I meant that needs to be installed. There is a recession, so you can just insert the nut, and then you can screw it in through the top using an Allen key. The Allen key is coming with the machine also, but I used my own. I didn't bother to use the one coming with the machine. This screw can be tightened almost as much as you want, because It's a special type of screw, so you can't really over tighten it. You can still move the arm later on of the machine. When the machine is in position in the angle you want to sew, then you lock it with this screw. So it's not and the other screw is not necessary for anything else. That is just the axis of rotation. So you open it here and then you set the angle and then lock it. So using it will be very simple. But now it's time for the actual machine installation. Before installing the machine on the base plate, I decided I will insert the saw blade, because I think it's easier to do it when the machine is on a table. To do that, you will need a screwdriver, a Phillips number 2 type, because you have to unscrew these 2 screws and remove the plastic protection cover. There is a protection for the blade here, but that needs to be removed also before you installing it. So be careful. It has very sharp edges, and well, use a glove to protect your fingers. When the screws are removed from both sides, it's very easy to remove the cover. You just pop it open through pushing it in that direction. There is also an indication somewhere. I have just seen it, or maybe there isn't, but anyway, that is quite clear for how to remove it. Don't just pull it off, because there are some plastic tabs both on the actual protection and on the machine itself. So if you just pull it out, then you will break it. So this is how it looks like from the inside. Nothing fantastic. It's a simple design, but it feels like quite well made. Most of the things are metal, except these plastic covers. But that's okay. I mean, it fills its purpose. That's all. The machine itself has a 1200 watt motor, so hopefully it is powerful enough for the things I want to use it for. But now I will insert the blade also. Inserting the blade was a bit fiddly, but in the end I managed without any real trouble and no injuries to my hand or face or whatever. But you have to be careful, because the blade is really, really sharp, and it's memory steel, so it will easily, it jumps out quite easily. So you have to play with it a little bit. And anyway, it is now inserted. Also, after inserting, don't forget to tighten this lock, which is locking the blade, so it will not remove. It is very important that it's locked properly. But otherwise it's not rocket science. So the machine is now installed. I didn't run it yet, so I don't know if it works, but I just hope it does. The machine locks in the upper position when you lift it. There is a knob here which is locking it, and that has to be pulled out when you are using the machine. This was also another reason why I wanted this specific machine, because far from all in this price range has this locking mechanism, and I think this is very good, even though you should not have your hand under the blade, not even when the machine is not running, because if this lock for some reason would break or release, then it will probably chop off your fingers immediately because of the weight. The machine weighs 6.9 kilograms and the stand 6.5 kilograms, so the total weight is about 13.5 kilograms. So it is quite heavy, which means also that if you are going to work on the machine when you install it on the stand, you need to hold the machine with one hand and the Allen key with the other, and the screws. So this can be tricky for some people. If you feel like you can't hold the machine like this for a few minutes, which needs for the 3 screws, then you should ask for help. So now I have plugged in the machine, and there is actually a LED light. Many people complain about the LED light of this type of machines. Well, not exactly this from Biltema, but the Scheppach and the others. They say that the LED is not lighting up the actual workpiece and the blade. But this doesn't seem to be the case here, because as you can see, it lights up quite well. And even though the light in this room where I'm making this video is quite strong, you can still see that there is light. There are 6 speeds here. Currently it's on the highest speed. The slowest speed is 1, and then 2, 3, but it's stepless changing, so you can start whatever you want to sew, depends on the material, but starting slow. And of course the noise increases as you increase the speed. I have to remove the safety switch or release the safety pin. It's not a switch, it's just a pin. It feels very efficient, and the softwood is very nicely cut. Okay, so it's time for a few test cuts. I am going to test with this 90 by 45 aluminum profile. and 10 millimeter thick small aluminium sheet, and also this 20 by 20 steel tube. I think the walls are 1.5 millimeter thick. So let's see how that goes. It did cut very easy, but the finish is not as nice as the one made on the circular saw. But it will do for things where it is not critical. It's very good. I will cut this time at speed 4, whatever speed that is. So this is done also without any problems. I could have made the cut much faster, but I wanted to see if the results are different. It looks slightly better. So now let's see this steel tube. It's time to see how the steel tube is going to do. I will cut this with speed 3. Looking at the off-cut piece, the surface is quite nice. The machine did make some mess, but it's easy to clean, and it's just sawdust, which is not really flying around in the whole area around you, and it's not dangerous to breathe, so I don't have to use any protection against the dust, unlike if I would have used an angle grinder or something similar, like a high-speed steel blade for circular saws. I don't really like that. That's why I didn't really bother buying anything for my large circular saw, which works very well for aluminium and for plastic and for wood, of course, but I don't want to use it for steel. For steel, I think this solution is much better. So this machine will be an excellent addition to my tools and machines in my tiny workshop.